So let's talk about Kaggle. If you're anywhere near the world of data science, you've definitely heard of it. It's this massive platform where you can compete, build models, and maybe even win some serious cash. But what's it really all about? Is it the fast track to becoming a data scientist? Or is it something else? Let's get into it.
I love this quote I found on Reddit because it just perfectly frames the whole debate. Kaggle covers the last 10% of a data science project. Okay, but what does that even mean? Is it the most important 10%? Or is it a tiny little sliver that distracts you from the other 90% of the actual job?
And that's really the big question we're going to try to answer. We're going to look at why Kaggle is such an amazing learning tool, for sure. But then we're also going to dive into some of the really sharp critiques from people who've been in industry for years.
Okay, first up, let's dig into the hype. Why is Kaggle such a big deal in the data science community? What makes it so attractive, especially when you're just starting your journey?
Well, at its core, Kaggle is kind of like an all-in-one toolbox for machine learning. It gives you the three things you need: the data, the tools to work with it, and a really clear problem to solve. It's all just handed to you in one nice, neat package. And wow, what a toolbox it is. You get access to this giant library of datasets on pretty much anything you can imagine. You get a free coding environment in the cloud, so you don't even need a powerful computer. And, of course, the main event, the competitions. They give you a clear goal and let you see how you stack up against thousands of other people from around the world.
Now, to really get what makes Kaggle, well, Kaggle, it helps to see it next to something like driven data. Driven data is awesome. It's all about using data for social good. But Kaggle is unapologetically competitive. It's all about pushing the technical limits on tough problems, often with big prizes on the line. And what's cool about that competitive focus is that it creates a super clear learning path for you. You're not just thrown into the deep end. You can start small, learn the ropes, maybe try out the famous Titanic competition, and then slowly work your way up to the big leagues with the massive prize pools. It's a really structured way to build your confidence and your skills. All right, so you're on this path. You're learning, you're competing, but what does it actually take to win? What are the skills that separate the top of the leaderboard from everyone else? Let's see what the experts have figured out. And believe it or not, people have literally written academic papers about this. Researchers in Denmark actually went through and analyzed winning solutions to figure out the secret sauce. And the first thing they found might surprise you. It's not about having the flashiest, most complicated algorithm. As Kaggle master Luca Massaran says here, it's the features you create that matter more than anything. This whole art of feature engineering, that's where the real magic happens.
And here's another plot twist. The best competitors often start simple. Another Kaggle master, Steve Donahoe, points out that you can get shockingly close to a top score with a basic model, as long as your features are rock solid. It's a great lesson in not overthinking it from the get-go.
Okay, but what about that little extra push that gets you from 10th place to 1st? Well, the study found the answer loud and clear. In 8 out of 10 competitions, the winning trick was something called ensembling. Basically, you combine a bunch of different models to create one powerful supermodel.
And this isn't a fluke, it is the core strategy. As Anil Thomas says, it's pretty much a guarantee that blending models will improve your score. It helps cancel out the weird mistakes each individual model makes. So, point is, Kaggle is designed to make you an absolute beast at modeling and feature engineering.
But here's the paradox. You could become a Kaggle champion, a true modeling genius, and still not be ready for a real data science job. This is where things get a little more complicated. Let's get into the critique. Okay, critique number 1. Kaggle is just too clean. It's too perfect. Think about it. On Kaggle, they give you a nice, tidy data set and tell you exactly what to predict. But in a real job, you might spend months just trying to define what customer churn even means for the business. That part is totally missing. And that leads to the second big problem. Kaggle lives in a bubble where only accuracy matters. It never asks the most important question in business. Should we even use this thing? It doesn't care if a model is too expensive, too slow, or impossible to explain. In the real world, the most accurate model is often not the best one. So what happens is you get this whole culture built around chasing these tiny infinitesimal gains. You see competitors building these monstrous, incredibly complex models just to get a tiny little edge on the leaderboard.
And this number says it all, 0.001. That was the entire difference in score between first and second place in one competition, 1/10,000th of a point. On Kaggle, that's everything. But can you imagine going into a business meeting and saying you spent 3 months building a model that was 0.0001% better? It just doesn't translate.
And this really gets to the heart of it, right? There's a real danger that Kaggle gives newcomers the wrong idea about the job. It can make you think it's all about tweaking models for perfect accuracy, when in reality your job is to solve a messy business problem. The model is just one tool you might use to do that.
So, where does that leave us? Is Kaggle broken? Is it bad? Or are we just looking at it the wrong way? Let's try to put the two sides together and find a balanced answer.
I think this comment from a data scientist on Reddit just nails it. Kaggle isn't trying to be a simulation of a full data science job. It's a gym. It's a hyper-focused training ground for one specific skill, being an ML shark. If you want to be the best modeler you can possibly be, this is the place.
And this table really lays out the trade-off perfectly. Look what Kaggle teaches you. Advanced modeling, state-of-the-art techniques, creative feature engineering. I mean, that's powerful stuff. But then look at what it doesn't teach you. Figuring out the business problem, collecting data, deploying your work, talking to stakeholders, all the stuff that turns a model into actual value.
So the key is to be smart about it. If you're a beginner, it's an incredible place to master the fundamentals. If you're a pro, it's where you go to sharpen your skills. And here's the secret weapon. Maybe the most valuable thing on Kaggle isn't even competing. It's reading the winner's detailed write-ups after a competition ends. That's where you get to see how the best in the world think.
And so we land right back where we started. Kaggle can, without a doubt, teach you to be a phenomenal modeler, an ML shark. But is that the same thing as being a great data scientist? Probably not. Because being a great data scientist means using those modeling skills to solve real, messy, human problems. And that, right there, is a whole different kind of competition.